Hi Environmental Science, welcome to your stream observation tutorial. This will help guide you when you get ready to go down to the stream. So some things to think about is that originally your location, I chose Bear Creek as my location. Nicely, it was right next to the Greenbelt and a few different trails that gave me direct access. So we've been talking about watersheds and how water flows down out of the mountains, especially during our snow melt time. That currently, as the temperatures are rising, we have more water coming down out of the mountains as the snow is melting. That means that the rivers are a little bit more fierce, and we won't be getting in all the way. You'll be getting in maybe up to your ankles. So the water will be pretty cold, but with these nice warm days, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to get out and explore. Remembering back to the different aspects and characteristics of the stream, you're going to want to reference those when you get there. So making observations about the flow and the deposits that you see are going to be extremely important. One thing to think about is with the warmer weather, there are more bugs. And also, you have to think about the sun. So I do recommend bringing out some bug spray or some sunscreen. I actually got a little red when I was out doing my filming today. So first, you need to collect up your supplies. So, shoes. Let's talk shoes. Flip-flops. Great. They're fun, they're exciting, but boy do they float. So I recommend a water shoe or a sandal that has a strap on it so that you don't end up shoeless as your flip-flops float down the river. Also, you're going to want to make sure that you have something to collect your invertebrates in. Paper plate, a bowl that is white, both of those would work, or maybe even a little plastic container from some of the microwave dinners. All of those would be great for identifying the different invertebrates. A pen and a piece of paper to take down some notes and write down what you're seeing is going to be important as well. Now I brought along a few other items, one of them being my bird guide and then also my insect and spider guide, which we'll actually use a little bit later. Your job a couple weeks ago was to make an invertebrate field guide for the stream, and you're going to want to have that handy. So if it's digital, that's great. So second, you're going to take 5 minutes when you get to your river site, and you're going to get in touch with nature. You're going to really want to use all your senses. Think about your smell, think about your touch, what are you feeling? I felt wind. You're going to want to think about what you see. Of course, that probably is the biggest of my list, but then you also want to think about what you're hearing. Third, finding the right spot.
So here's the stream location that I picked. You'll notice that right in this area I'm going to be able to get and access the stream pretty easily. You want to make sure that, one, you don't want to be super muddy when you're done with this, so be careful with what you're doing. I've taken middle schoolers down to the river many times and I usually end up coming back with them full, some of them completely wet. You probably want to find maybe a spot where you can spot a rock. This seaweed, or not seaweed, this moss or this plant that's growing here in the water, it is definitely, it kind of looks like rocks, so just be careful because you don't want to go in past your ankles, okay? And your goal is that you want to find a spot that's going to allow you to get in, and this spot here, I can see this rock, so it allows me to be able to kind of just dip down and find another rock to be able to use as my tool for grabbing my invertebrates.
Fourth, collect 2 rocks. You're going to take them to your paper plate and you're going to gently brush them off and you're going to collect up some of the invertebrates that are on the rock as well as some of the moss. You're going to want to use a little bit of water. You can cup your hand and grab some from the water or use a little cup.
Closer. And now with my camera, I doubt I'm going to be able to show you guys a lot of really good pictures of the invertebrates, and I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try to give you the best thing, but I already see one right there. I'm going to try to pull him up and maybe trap him in a little water bubble up at the top here. But there he is. Okay, so when you get really close to him, you should be able to then begin to identify some parts about him and what might be making him up. Oh yeah, there, I got a pretty good view of him with my camera. Now, good things to look at are the tails. He does look like he has 3 parts to his tail, which probably means he is I believe that means he's a stonefly. Ooh, I see something here. This is good. Look at this green guy. He's not wanting to come out. Do you see him there? He's right there. Don't know if you guys can see him, but he's in this little embedding of the rock here. And I'm pretty sure he's a caddisfly. Okay. And as you begin to look, all you gotta do is get kind of close and you'll start seeing all kinds of things moving around and getting in there. I see one with 2 tails. I see a bunch of little guys swimming. And I see some little worm-like. And the closer you can get yourself to seeing them, the better off you're gonna be. Okay? And you're just looking for small amounts of movement. If you want to, you could take a little bit and rinse it clean and get a little bit cleaner water. Get some of the debris out of there, and that would help you see some of these things a little bit better. Well, there he is. He's moving now. Look at him. He's pretty cool. And yes, he is a caddisfly. He's a pretty big caddisfly. Now remember, they will molt and become actual insects that fly. Some stay over winter, and some lay eggs in the winter, some lay them in the late fall, just a variety of different things. So you're going to get down and you're going to identify and capture about 3. Now, my goal is that you try to take some pictures using your open up my field guide, and I found that I actually have a little section here on water nymphs and larvae. And you'll notice here it talks about the mayflies, which have 3 tails. And then our damselfly there, he's pretty dark and he's pretty fierce looking, and he has 3 featherly-like tails. A common skidder is down here on the bottom. But as you go up a little bit, you'll notice that the stoneflies actually only have 2 tails. And they're going to be a little bit brown, and they are also good. I mean, they almost look exactly the same, except for the number of tails that you're looking at. Okay. And then as we keep going, there's all kinds of different invertebrates that you might come across. But here's an example of some of the caddisflies. A caddisfly has featherly-like tails, but they have a tendency, there's some free-floating caddisflies, but majority of them like to build, that one up there at the top is using grass to build their shell or home, and this one here is probably using little stones, similar to the one that we saw when I opened up. Oh look, there's ducks! Those are mallards. There's another one over there. That's pretty cool. Get to see the ducks. Oh, I scared them away. Didn't mean to. And so the really nice part is when you bring out your books, you'll be using them to help you identify, okay? You should be bringing out what you made. You may have to go back and look, but I recommend bringing it out, even if it's digital on your phone, that way you can reference it.